डियर स्टूडेंट्स एंड फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल किड्स लर्निंग क्लासरूम स्टाइल। मैं शिखा और आप सबको मेरा जय श्री श्याम। टुडेज सब्जेक्ट इज इंग्लिश ग्रामर एंड टॉपिक इज वर्ब. Before we start this topic, my dear students, since I am starting introducing these English grammar topics from grade 1 for the students who have just started their primary classes, so the introduction form of teaching content I will be sharing in this particular video, so that the kids don't get confused and puzzled with a lot of information and content. Each and every topic in English grammar, my dear students, is a very vast topic. There are many classifications, sub-classifications of them, and therefore if you would have noticed, you have verbs in class 1, verbs in class 2, class 3, class 4, and so on. And that is because covering each and everything in one particular class, in one particular grade, may not be useful for the kid. So gradually, as the kids start climbing the ladder, things are being introduced to them. Therefore, today's video will be a very basic content, a very basic teaching on verb that is very useful till grade 3. Then gradually, my dear students, I will be covering, since we know that in verbs we have tenses also, which is a part of verb. So then gradually we will be covering each and everything differently in separate videos, so that the videos don't get lengthened and there is no overburdening of the content on any of the kid who enjoys and loves watching my video. I know that you guys are supporting me. Do support me like this by sharing and liking my video. Let's get started with today's session. So what is a verb? So in simple word, verb is an action. It's an action word. It's a doing word. So a verb is a word that describes an action, an event, a state of being, or a feeling. So it's we know verb as an action words, because till grade 1 and 2 verbs are being taught as only the action words. So whatever action we are doing in a day-to-day life, those actions are the verbs, like playing, walking, jumping, studying. So these are the activities or the work that we do on a day-to-day basis. So these are classified as verbs. So, and they are called the action words or the doing word. But apart from action, a verb also describes an event, a state of being, or a feeling. So feeling is like if you're feeling happy, you're feeling sad. So even these are verbs. Yes. So a verb is a word that describes an action, an event, a state of being, or a feeling. It is often called an action word or a doing word because it tells us what the subject of a sentence is doing, experiencing, or how it exists. So basically, what does it do? It tells us more about the subject, the action that the subject is doing in the sentence, the experience that the subject is having in that particular sentence, or how it exists. For example, so here I have few examples. So the cat jumped on the table. So what is the subject here? The cat is the subject, and what is the subject doing? The subject is jumping on the table. She is happy. So if you see here, she is happy. So happy is what? Happy is a feeling. Yes. So therefore this is happy here is a verb. She believes in magic. So what is believe here? So believe is a state of being. So here believes is the verb. So words like swim, study, play, smile, run, happy, sad, etc. All these are verbs. Let's understand the verbs in each of the sentences here. She ate a sandwich for the lunch. So what action do you see in this sentence? What do you see the action is happening in this particular sentence? So the action here is ate, means eating. Ate is the verb here. So this is the action. She is eating a sandwich for lunch. They bought new clothes for the trip. So who bought new clothes? They bought new clothes. What did they do? What action did they do? So they bought. So bought here becomes the verb. They talked about their vacation plan. So here talked becomes the verb. They are selling their company's products to people. So here what action they are doing? So they are selling here. So this becomes the verb. The flowers grow in the garden. So here, my dear students, if you will see grow, so the flowers grow in the garden. So here the verb is grow. She rides her bike to the school. They clean the house on weekends. They make a delicious cake. So here if you will see what making is, the make is the verb. The kids jump on the trampoline. We catch fish in the river. He climbs the tall mountain. We arrange chair for guests. So here whatever action in each sentence it's described is shown is the verb here, is the verb here. So each and every sentence, whatever the subject is doing, so verb here in each sentence is telling us what the subject is doing or what the subject is experiencing or how it exists. So there are three kinds of verb. There are many, as I told you, but in detail we'll understand today only three. I will cover the other verbs in a very short way, but basic three kind. There are three types of verbs that will be taught to you till grade 3. That is, first is action verb, then is linking verbs, and then the last one is the helping verbs, which is also called the auxiliary verbs. So action verb is what? The words that describe an action, as the verb here itself gives us the tells us what does it mean. So action means what action we are doing, what action the person is doing, animal is doing, or anything, any living thing is doing. So all the verbs that describes these actions are called action verbs. For example, sleep, sit, go, see, talk, play, eat, run, jump, write, draw, sing, drink, etc. Then what are linking verbs? So the linking verbs links the subject with a noun or an adjective. So here, my dear students, to make a meaningful sentence, to make a meaningful sentence, there are few verbs that are used to complete and make the sentence meaningful. So these verbs, what they will do, so these verbs will connect the subject to a word that describes or identifies it. Or we can also say they link the subject with a noun or an adjective. So here if I say she is a good teacher, so what did I do? So what example I use? she is a good teacher. So good is what? Good is an adjective. Yes, teacher is the profession. So here if you will see, teacher is a noun and good is an adjective, because what kind of teacher she is? She is a good teacher. And what linking verb is being used is. So here is the linking verb and the subject is she. Subject here is she to her role, which is good teacher. Yes, so therefore the example of linking verbs are is, am, are, was, were, seem, feel, look, seem, become, etc. So here my dear students, linking words will not only be is, am, are, they will also be about the feeling, look, seem and become. Yes. And what are helping verbs or auxiliary verbs? So these verbs work with the main verb to create verb phrases indicating time or condition. So these verbs will work with the main verb to create verb phrases indicating time or condition. Example, will go. So here what is go? Go is an action. So this is a main verb here. And what we are using? We are using will. And why we are using will? To make it a phrase. Similarly, have eaten, is playing. So these words like can, could, do, does, has, and even is, am, are also a part of the auxiliary verbs, because they link the verbs with the main verb to create verb phrases. So here I have few examples in sentences. He is a great leader. So here if you will see, is the linking verb. Why? Because the subject this I have written subject is he here and his. Yes, so here is the linking verb that links the subject he to a role, to his role that the person is doing, which is a great leader. The sky is blue. So what is the subject? The subject here is sky, because the sky is the subject. Which color it is? It is blue. So basically blue here becomes what? Blue here becomes the adjective, because it tells us the color of the noun. And is a linking verb. The cake tasted delicious. So since I told that not only is, am, are, was, were will be linking verbs, so here the feel. So here what is tasted delicious? So the cake tasted delicious. So here this tasted cake is what? Cake is a subject here. What? How it tasted delicious. So what does tasted becomes here? The linking verb. Yes. Similarly, my dear students, auxiliary verbs. So the auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs are used with the main verb to form different tenses, moods or voices. Examples of auxiliary verbs will be he was jogging in the park. So here jogging is what? Jogging is the action that the person is doing, and was is the auxiliary verb. He has been walking the dog. They have finished the race. In other words, auxiliary verbs come before a main verb to form tense or mood. So what does it mean? That here finished, walking, jogging are what? These are the main verbs. And when we are adding the the helping words like was, has been, have, so what does it say? It is telling us the tenses. or the mood. So was jogging, what does it mean? Was means something that has been done in the past. Has been means the thing, he has been walking the dog. So it is something that is being currently done. Present, they have finished. So again, this is a plural form and have is a past tense. So I will be since I told that this is a very introduction part, my dear students, I'm not getting into too much detail to confuse you all, but these tenses in auxiliary verbs, in the verb part, the tenses are again a very important and a very interesting topic that I will cover in my coming videos. So in other words, auxiliary verbs come before a main verb to form tenses or moods. And the other classifications of verbs are transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, stative verbs, regular verbs and irregular verbs. So here transitive verbs are verbs that requires a object, that requires a direct object to complete the meaning. Intransitive verbs are verbs that do not require an object to complete the meaning. They stand alone. Let's see what I have written. Transitive verbs are verbs that requires a direct object to complete its meaning. For example, he built a house. So if I use the verb build, we can build a building, a house, a garden. So these are the things that get associated with the verb build. So therefore, this particular kind of verb, which is a transitive verb, it requires a direct object to complete its meaning. Intransitive verbs, the verb that do not need a direct object, it stands alone. For the example, the birds fly. So here flying or the birds, I do not need any specific object to complete the meaning. Then what is stative verbs? So stative verbs are verbs that describe a state or condition rather than action, such as know, believe, want, etc. So when we use the verbs like know, believe, want, etc., that is referred to as stative verbs, because these are not the words that describe the action. These words are used to describe the condition. Yes, example, I believe this true. And we have also seen that she believes in magic. So therefore, these are not something that is a action. Believe is not an action, it's a feeling, it's a state of or condition that we feel. Then what are regular verbs? So the regular verbs are verbs that form their past tense and past participle by adding d or ed to the base form. So the base form of verb will be swim, walk, talk, play. So when we refer to their past tense or the past participle, what we do, we either add d or ed. For example, played, jumped, walked, etc. So to the main verb wherein we can, to the base form of verb where we can add d or ed to form their past tense or past participles are called the regular verbs. However, there are few verbs that do not follow this pattern of adding d or ed and to form their past tense. The words completely gets changed. Go, went, eat, ate, see, saw. So these went is the thing that has happened in the past, ate that happened in the past, saw that happened in the past. So we did not add ed or d to form their past tense. So few examples of common verbs are help, look, see, listen, run, walk, jump, play, sing, draw, write, read, drink, etc. So here I have completed, my dear students, today's topic, which was verbs. So what all we have discussed. So what is a verb? So verb is an action or a doing verb. Also, and it describes an event, a state of being, or a feeling. There are three main kind of verbs: action verbs, linking verbs, and auxiliary verbs. Action verbs that describes the action, linking verb, the verbs that link a noun or an adjective, and helping words are the words that work with the main verb to create a verb phrase. Apart from these, the verbs that we have discussed are transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, stative verbs, regular verbs, and irregular verbs. I will be making a very detailed video on the tenses very soon, my dear students. So therefore, in case you have still not subscribed my channel, do subscribe and do press the bell icon so that whenever I upload a video, you get a notification about it. Like and share the video with your friends and families. We'll meet very soon with a new topic. Tab tak ke liye, bye bye and take care.